Warning, this Big Brother podcast contains spoilers. Good evening, and welcome to Big Brother, and welcome to the Season 17 Big Brother podcast for episode airing on Wednesday, September 2nd, 2015. I am your host for this evening for Big Brother 17, Luke Labagnera. With me, my co-host, Dom Greco.
How's it going?
It is going good. It was some fired-up week inside the Big Brother house. We have recapped that Vanessa was crowned HOH. John earned his way back into the Big Brother house for a second chance at the $500,000. And I think it was Sunday night. We had the nomination ceremony. There was a lot of debates and a lot of, tug of war. It was like a tug of war this week in the Big Brother house.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Finally setting her targets on both Meg and James, Vanessa has nominated Meg and James for eviction, stating clearly in a poker speech, which I didn't quite get because I'm not a poker player, and I know you're not either, Dom.
I play a good amount of poker.
Yeah, I mean, her speech kind of made a similar sense. Well, she kind of put her profession into it, just like Austin put his profession into his nomination speech.
Right.
But with Vanessa targeting James, her first option was to target James, but then it all came down to the Power of Veto competition, which took place tonight, and I believe the competition was called Hide and Go Veto, which in my case, I have OCD just like one of the twins, so when they were tearing the house apart, I was like, oh my Lanta, how are they going to clean all this up? Like, they're tearing apart the whole house, and they were literally...
God. It was insane.
They were they were like tearing up the place. I mean,
James is the worst.
I know, but
he's just ripping cereal and just throwing it all over the house. You just see him grab a handful of cereal and chuck it like behind it, like over his shoulder. It's like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
Like what? But I forgot whose idea actually. I don't know which twin it was, but they hid their veto card in the DiGiorno pizza box, which I think was a clever move, and Meg had a clever move too by hiding hers in the little nook and cranny in between the bed and the front bedroom.
Yeah.
But I think this was a competition repeat 8 years later from Big Brother 8, where Danielle Donato won the Power of Veto on season 8 during the similar competition.
Yes.
Only that year, all the house guests were watching from the HOH room instead of out in the backyard, being placed out in the backyard like there was tonight.
Right. Yeah, I remember somebody hid one in like the underneath the trash bag, like the trash pail, like so in the cupboard, the storage room. Like they went in and instead of hiding it in the trash bag, like where somebody would expect to like dump the trash out, dig through, they lifted the trash bag up and they put they hid it underneath and then put the trash bag in. And I don't remember if that was the one that ended up winning or if that was, one of the last ones to be found, but it was really close. It was down toward the end. So I instantly started, so I'm thinking, where am I going to put one if I was in the house? And the first place I thought was I'd hide it in a box of cereal. That would not have been a good idea because with James in the house, that's the first place he went.
Mm-hmm.
He just knocked all the cereal off the top of the refrigerator and tore the boxes open and then just started throwing cereal around the house. I would have been the first one out.
Right. I mean, the competition was kind of confusing for me at first. I didn't quite get it until the end. But then I'm like, okay, one's been eliminated and poor James. He unfortunately eliminated Meg and she was not pissed, but she was like, what? Yeah. She started sarcastically hitting him, and I thought that was kind of funny, actually. But unfortunately for Vanessa's game, it took a turn for the worst. James had won the Golden Power of Veto, and a heated argument began in the HOH room between Vanessa and James. So I think...
Yeah, but James had a really good hiding spot, though.
James did.
And his strategy was really good, too. It's just pile more stuff on top of it to make it look like it was ransacked, and because they only have 2 minutes to go in the house and tear things up, um, you're not going to spend a lot of time undigging something that already looks like it went through. So James's
Right.
strategy was amazing. Like, where would you
He, look,
hide the veto if you were in the house?
um, and it can only be on the bottom, on the lower level, lower main level,
Yeah, it
right?
could not be in the. I don't know if the storage room was off limits this year, but they never went in there, and the head of
Mm.
household room is always off limits. But
Oh, I know I know where I would hide it. Uh, Instead of in the refrigerator in a pizza box, I would literally hide it under the refrigerator. Because who's gonna move a big refrigerator?
yeah, that's not a bad idea. I
Yeah,
think
but I would
uh,
also
I think with
try
the
James'
knowledge of the
strategy.
cereal boxes being like a bad idea, I would try to hide it on the back of the TV set that Julie talks from. Like, there's got to be a way to wedge it back there somehow.
Yeah, there has to be, but you know what? I think James's I like his strategy, James. I mean, he made the spot look ransacked, like where everybody, like, he made it look like everybody just went through that, so nobody would find his card.
Yeah, really good
I thought it
strategy.
was an amazing competition, but I can't assume now, getting back to the heated argument where Vanessa's blood began to boil in the game. Well, after the competition, James went up to the room to help, try to smooth things out with her, but instead Vanessa kind of like flipped out and jumped to conclusions. And you know how Vanessa can overreact, but her blood just got heated because she took James gave constructive criticism, but she wasn't taking the criticism. She was taking it as like a lashing out.
Right.
So that got her blood boiling. So now I think we can safely possibly say they are sworn enemies at this point. Because as we know, if Meg does not get evicted tomorrow and Julia is the one that goes home, or goes to jury, as we could say safely at this point, I think we can assume that James and Meg are out for blood. And he even said it. He hid no secrets. This is the first time I've seen this
Right.
in Big Brother history where James said, "You know what? I don't care who tells her. I'm coming after her if I'm HOH next week. You can bet your ass she's my target. I'm
Right.
putting her up on the block. And you know what? I don't care. You can tell her that."
Yeah. No, it's kind of a bold move by James, but he doesn't really realize the consequences because now he just painted a huge target on Meg's back by saying that. So, yeah, it's going to be really awkward if Julia ends up going home, but that means James is going to have to swing Johnny Mac or Steve's vote,
But yeah,
or both of their votes, rather.
but here's what I don't understand though. What is taking out James's best friend
It's a vote.
going
It's a
to?
vote for James.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't make sense. So is this like Vanessa punishing James for saying this? So by basically just saying in front of the whole house, "You're my target if I'm HOH next week," does that necessarily give Vanessa the idea to get Meg out of the house now
Well,
and rethink her
so
strategy?
the odds are if Vanessa leaves both of them in the house now, like if they both end up staying in the house for whatever reason, that's two
But
people
then,
coming after Vanessa. If Meg
okay,
leaves, that's only one person coming out of Vanessa.
okay,
So the
so
odds are
that
in
was
her favor to take one of them out.
yeah. So my question to you was basically, what good is that going to do? So what is sending Meg home going to do for Vanessa's game?
It's
And you
gonna
basically just answered my
Yeah,
question.
it's gonna increase her odds of staying. Um, and if Julia does not get evicted, then there's still no bad blood, from the Oz twins. Vanessa's safe there. Then she's made a side deal with Steve and Johnny Mac. She's got an alliance going with them that the Oz twins don't know about. Johnny Mac and Steve know that she's kind of in the graces of Oz twins, but they know that she feels like she's the bottom of the totem pole. So
Yes.
I feel like if Steve or Johnny Mac ends up winning head of household uh, tomorrow night, that they're gonna put up one of the Oz twins, and then if one of them comes down, the other one, the third one will go up as the replacement. I think Vanessa is gonna be safe. Same goes for the Oz twins. I think if Austin or the twins win, they're gonna put Steve and Johnny Mac up. Vanessa's gonna stay safe. The only person that's going to put Vanessa up right now is James.
Right.
So she's covered her
Or
bases
Meg.
really well. Like she's basically very close to being the Derek of this game.
She is. She is. But you know something? So is James, because James is doing this for his daughter, and even Derek said
Right.
last season, I'm playing this for my wife and my kid.
Right. Yeah, no, there's definitely similarities there, except the problem is James is working by himself.
Right.
So James doesn't really stand much of a chance if
Meg is evicted.
yeah, Meg's evicted and James, if he doesn't win HOH this week, more than likely he's going home.
Yeah, but you know what? Tomorrow night, everything could change as of tomorrow night, because
It's a
tomorrow
double
night's a
eviction.
special live double eviction, and
Right.
it's a week's worth of Big Brother in 1 hour. So a potential big target could be going home. And plus, this may be Vanessa's. I have a feeling Vanessa, if after either Meg or Julia is evicted tomorrow night, chances are Vanessa's going to be the next to walk out the door tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So, you know something? I just have this feeling, I just have this gut feeling Vanessa is going to be going tomorrow night. She's going to be part of the double eviction. I just have that feeling. And James is a very strong competitor. He becomes the first HOH for that hour. He's going to be targeting Vanessa. So she's officially going up on the block. She's not a backdoor plan. So here's the thing, though. Vanessa does go up on the block and she wins the power of veto during the double eviction,
Hmm.
then she's obviously going to take herself off the block, and James is basically fucked.
Right. Yeah, double evictions tend not to go very well. They're very rushed, um, and they're they're insane. Uh, so the last person that you expect to go home is probably going to end up going home, and it's going to be in a quick blaze of glory. So I could see like Austin or Liz going home, like somebody you wouldn't expect like that, because they're the ones in power right now. Like they have the the biggest alliance. The biggest alliance right now is the Oz twins.
The Oz twins, and I like to make an announcement, kind of off subject, but for the record, we have seen an official showmance blossom into a real relationship inside the house and potentially outside the Big Brother house.
Yeah,
Liston is now official.
yeah. No, it's very very dangerous.
Why is that
Power
though?
couples. Power couples are
Oh,
dangerous. You
oh,
know,
power
so
couple.
yeah. So for Vanessa's game, Steve's game, Johnny Mac, like they're kind of in an alliance, but because Vanessa is literally playing the entire house right now, you don't exactly know where her alliance allegiances are. Like they could change at the drop of a hat.
They
So
do.
if the better deal comes along to work with the Oz twins, that's what she's gonna do. If the better deal comes along to work with Johnny Mac and Steve, that's what she's gonna do. I did not expect Vanessa to align with Johnny Mac. That just blew my mind. And from what I've been hearing through the feeds and stuff, that they've secured a final two deal.
Yes, yes, that's what I was just about to point out. That's what I asked myself. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Has Vanessa and Johnny Mac made a final two deal? But obviously, people this season, they seem like, I could be wrong, but they have a lot of emotions, this cast. So, something, I think that if they do go to jury and it is Johnny Mac and Vanessa in the final two, they're gonna play the game emotionally. And you know who they're gonna vote for to win? Johnny Mac. I just have
Yeah.
that feeling that they're gonna vote emotionally.
Yeah, it's gonna
Because
be interesting, but those are the two people I think deserve to win the most. Like the Oz twins haven't been doing much. Like Liz hasn't won next to anything. I think she won one head of household.
neither is Julia.
Uh, yeah, Julia has barely even been in the competitions. Let alone she was drawn for the veto or whatever, but she hasn't done anything. Austin's won like one, I think, if even that. Like he almost won a competition once and then threw it. He won the head of household. He was a head of household one week. Um, but like Steve at least is smart. He could win a competition there. Johnny Mac is either won or thrown competitions countless times where he could have won.
And he's been
So
a pawn, and he's been the pawn for the first few weeks of the season.
yeah, and Johnny Mac, like I don't know, he's been playing a pretty serious game, and like against all odds, he's back in the house. Everything. So I think either him or Vanessa, because Vanessa, like she even pointed out to Steve, she said, "My hand has literally been involved in every single eviction.
Yeah, so she's been responsible for the last several people that have left
Everybody
the
from
house.
the very beginning, from the first week,
Hmm.
she's been involved in. Well, I don't know about Jace, but everybody since Jace, she's been involved in.
No, Audrey was targeting Jason. You know something? I think James was trying to pull off an Audrey tonight in the house.
Yeah, he mocked it a little bit with the blanket and the
Yeah,
glasses.
that made absolutely no sense. Why, rewinding back a little bit, why Audrey was doing that for the first few weeks? Like, I know she was defeated, but come on. I mean,
Yeah,
that makes no sense. You're gonna like hide yourself under a blanket and sunglasses, and then you go and hide in the diary room for 1 or 2 hours.
whatever makes her feel safe, you know.
Right, because she had nobody in the house that week. I mean, nobody was on her side.
Yeah. So Vanessa's got a huge target on her back, so it's really going to come down to the moves that she makes now, which she played really smart. Even putting Julia up on the block, talking it out and like logistically like saying that this is the best move, not only for me but for all of us. And it's honestly Vanessa's best move because she's not pissing off Steve or Johnny Mac. She's not really pissing off the Oz twins because she already told them and how it's going to go down. So I don't know. Like Vanessa's in a really good spot in terms of not pissing anyone new off. But if Julia goes home, then she's got a bigger target on her back.
hmm I'm
And if
surprised
James
Vanessa.
wins head of household, she's got a huge target on her back. So
Right, but here's the other thing though too. I'm surprised Vanessa's. She's pretty freaking brave. I'm surprised she doesn't feel defeated yet.
yeah,
And it's crazy. I mean, I'm like at this point, if I was in her shoes, I would feel defeated. I wouldn't get myself expelled like Shima would, but I would, be like, something. I don't give a shit anymore. Just you may as well just send me packing out the door right now because you obviously want me gone. So here, I'll go.
yeah, absolutely.
Alyssa Slater was this close to leaving the game too when she felt defeated. She wanted to just walk out and say, She basically said on season 15, "I miss my husband. I'm gonna miss my son's first day of school. You know what? I don't even know why I'm here or why I'm playing this game. I'm just defeated."
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like I was surprised Audrey didn't leave. You know, uh,
Right.
because she knew she was going. It was before jury. Like at that point, she could have just left the house because she was battling severe depression and everything too in the house. So under those cases, for her own like well-being, it probably would have been in her best interest to leave. But I respect the fact that she stuck it out and she had the interview with Julie afterwards and kind of explained herself. And I think that really helped her case, in terms of why she was acting the way she was acting. So
Right. Um, I don't even think I think that's the last we've seen of Audrey. From what I've read on Twitter or the live feeds, that she's done with Big Brother. Like
yeah,
she won't the finale. I mean, I think that that's like stupid. I mean, you're gonna give up. You're a fan of the show, and now all of a sudden you hate it.
she had a bad experience in the house, so I can't blame her.
Well, I guess that makes sense. But you know something,
It's like meeting
this
your childhood hero and having them like look down on you and just be like, "Oh, you're a piece of shit." Like, would you want anything to do with them afterwards? Probably not.
I guess
So
not.
she
I
just
mean,
had a really bad experience. It's nobody. It's not like production's fault or anything like that. It's just it's
no,
the way it happened, and she doesn't want to
right. I mean,
associate. She doesn't want to go back and bring up the bad memories again, which I can't fault her for that.
no, of course not. I mean, well, going forward now within the game, I am looking forward to tomorrow night's live double eviction. I think we're out for some hot boiling points in the Big Brother house. Inside the house, all the emotions are going to bubble to the surface. I
Yeah,
think all the strategic moves are now going to like falter to the surface of the top of the totem pole, and I think there's going to be some big moves played out tomorrow within an hour.
yeah, probably. Fortunately, I will be in Florida and probably will
Yes.
not get a chance to watch it live. So
Yes.
um, I'm gonna have to wait on that, and I really don't want to get it spoiled. So I'm going to try my hardest to stay off the internet, because I don't
Yes.
want to know anything about it until I can sit down and watch it. So,
Right. So Erica and I will be covering tomorrow night's podcast, though, to cover up for the rest of the fans and stuff like that.
yep.
Okay, I think we covered everything basically for tonight, unless there's something more you wanted to add.
No, I'm gonna just go pretend to hide my veto and just trash the house just for the fun of it.
I think that's a good idea to do too. Maybe
It'll
I'll
be a
do
good
that.
thing. Yeah, it'll be a good thing to do before I leave for Florida, so I don't have to worry about it. It'll just be a big mess. And
Absolutely. So,
yeah,
I guess before you make your final closing statement, I am just going to close off with our prediction statement.
okay.
Who will be evicted from the Big Brother house, Meg or Julia? Plus, it's a special live double eviction episode. It's a week's worth of Big Brother in just 1 hour. It all happens tomorrow, live, 9/8 Central on Big Brother. Plus, be sure to tune in tomorrow night after the show live on YouTube channel As Seen on TV with Big Brother historians Dom Greco, Luke Labagnera, and Erika Rain as they recap this past week's events inside the Big Brother house. It'll be hosted tomorrow night by Erika Rain and Luke Labagnera for the next week or so.
Yeah. All I have to say is goodbye, Meg.
I hope so.
Or in the tune of Family Guy. Shut up, Meg. Luke, where can the people find you?
The people can find me and follow me on Twitter at Zupa23.
Excellent. Find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You can also find the both of us and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV Podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till tomorrow night.
From outside the Big Brother house, we are Luke Labagnera and Dom Greco. Good night.
I might have to get a Florida Gator shirt while I'm down there, so I get the real shirt now.
Yeah, definitely. Before we go live